Guys, so my skin is it's not looking good. I'm going through a major purging process and I'm also super sick. So I just look like a big pile of you know what right this second. But we're going to move along. I went ahead and started on my brows. They're a little big, but you know we're just going to go with it, okay? I've already primed my skin and I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids with some concealer. This is a Tarte Shape Tape. One of my favorite concealers, especially to prime the lids with, just because it's so pigmented. So I just tap that in with my finger, and then I will set it with the kind of matte cream shade from the Naked Basics palette. I was so excited to use this Masquerade mini palette by Juvia's Place. I just got it, but there wasn't a transition shade, so I went in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palettes and just took this mauve shade and run it in the upper crease area just to go ahead and start some color, because the next colors I'm going to go in with are a little intense. Now I'm taking the shade Zobo from the Juvia's Place palette, and holy shit, guys, this is very pigmented. I was very impressed. I started working that into the crease and then started blending it up into the upper crease area, and it was just such a smooth blend. I was really impressed. Like, whoa. I tapped some more product on the outer corner, just really creating some depth, and then starting to blend that into the crease, and then took the brush that we used before with the transition shade, just whatever's left on it to blend. Now to cut my crease, I'm going to take some more Shape Tape, and I'm just going to take a tiny little brush and start sketching out my line. I'm kind of going to do like a half circle, and I do go well above my like natural crease because I do have hooded eyes, so I kind of make my own crease. And it is a little bit more difficult, especially on this eye that I'm working on, because I have a lot more folds on it, so it's just harder to work with. If you have hooded eyes, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to fill that in with a little bit more concealer just to make it very opaque, and so it has a very intense cut, if you will. And I'm just going to blend out the edges, that way we can kind of make it transition into some nice eyeshadow. Now going in with this green shade Mally, and it is so intense. I was really impressed again. Just tapping that on with a small little brush, that way I can just stay in these lines. It was super intense and I didn't really need to, but I went ahead and added some setting spray on the brush just to intensify it even more, and just really was careful to get really close to that line without overlapping, just to be sure we have a nice crisp cut. I tapped a little bit more of that Zobo shade on the outer corner just to kind of deepen it up a little bit more and make it a high contrast between the pink and the green, and then took a tiny little dab of that Mally shade, the green one, and just kind of dragged it in between where the green and that pink met, and it kind of created a blue color, which was really nice. And then again, just grabbed that blending brush with a little bit of that pink just to make sure everything was nice and smooth in the upper crease area now that we added all that color underneath. To add even more dimension, I went ahead and took my KatVonD Holographic palette and took this holographic green shade just to add on the inner corner and kind of made it fade into the middle, which is where the green was most intense. To prime for the glitter, I'm going in with the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Glitter Glue just on the first half of my eyelid. And this isn't cosmetic glitter. I'm not sure what this is. It's some kind of flakes I found at like TJ Maxx one day. Oh my god, they're so pretty. I do use this for like on the face, but today I was feeling risky. I put it on my eyes. Just please don't use this on your eyes. It took a long time to get it off, but I was sure to tap around to make sure that nothing was loose that could fall into my eyes. Then I went in with my winged liner. I was using the Wet n Wild cream liner. I really like that one. It's waterproof. Kept it more thick on the outer corner and kept it kind of thinner on the inner corner. For hooded eyes, this is ideal because you can see more of your eyeshadow if you do it like this. So basically, I just kind of draw a little starter line on my lid, flick it out on the end, and then connect everything together. And then I'll go in and kind of perfect it. I love using the KatVonD tattoo liner to really make sure that all the lines are super clean and crisp. For the face, I mixed the Maybelline Better Skin Foundation with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, which was actually a really nice combo. It was very kind of full coverage, a little bit more matte than what I typically go for. I usually like very dewy skin, but it was very nice. Covered up all my red spots, which was good. And my usual concealer combo is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I usually add this first. I really love this. I quit using it for a while and now I'm back. And then I just go in with a tiny little bit of this Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. There's barely anything on the applicator because I am running out. I need more. and just tap this in with my beauty sponge. This is the Real Techniques beauty sponge. And I try to get right up along the edge of that wing liner because it really makes it pop. A really high contrast from the bright under eye and that black wing liner. And then we are going to set it with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder using my sponge again. This is such a multi-purpose tool. Just tapping that in. I'm using some extra powder and we'll kind of brush it off later, so no worries. Just setting the places I put the concealer, and for the rest of my face I'll use my Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation Powder, which I love. And to warm up my skin, I'm using my favorite bronzer. This is the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I like to use it on a kabuki brush and really just start kind of buffing it in, not doing any swiping because I don't want to disturb what's underneath. For more contour, I'm taking the KatVonD Shade Light palette and taking that middle shade just to really add to the areas that I want to cut more. So really tight close to the ear, underneath the cheekbone, and right there on top of that big old forehead, girl. We're gonna make that thing smaller. Yes. And then I'm just going to blend all that in again with that kabuki brush with some of that bronzer on it. Now it's time for the baked beard. I'm going in with my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. Love this stuff. Just going to add a nice amount of that underneath where our contour is and kind of let it sit for a while, and then when we dust it off, it will be nice and crisp. I've been so hooked on this highlight. This is the Makeup Forever, what is it called? Starlight powder, number 11. It is so amazing. I've been using it every single day for my highlight. I can't get anything as intense as this right now. So yeah. And to add a little pink shift to it, I went in with the pink shade from the KatVonD Holographic palette, and it was super, super pretty. I forgot to contour my nose, so I'm going in with my Laura Geller Bounce and Brighten powder in the shade Medium. It's just like a foundation powder, but it works for my nose. And then I bake the sides of my nose with my Laura Mercier powder again. Shifting back over to the eyes, I added some Marc Jacobs eyeliner, just a black eyeliner into the waterline, and then went in with that Zobo shade from the Masquerade palette and started buffing that underneath the lash line, and then got a more firm brush and really tucked it into that lash line. Now I'm going in with more of those flakes, but this one is like a hot pink shade, so it matched super well. And I'm going to apply it this time with some eyelash glue, just taking it straight from the applicator, putting it exactly where I want it. That way we're just super careful. I did not want any of this stuff getting to my eyes because I feel like it could be very dangerous. I definitely learned this when I was taking it off because it took a very long time. But I just added it in kind of a upside down triangle type shape, adding more of the larger chunks closer to the lash line and making them smaller as they go down. For lashes, I had to dig through my little eyelash holder to find them, but I just added the Goddess lashes from Cool Lashes. They are so pretty. So I'm dusting off my baked beard with a Duo fiber brush. So you see how nice that is once you like dust it off. It just has a nice little cut there. I'm taking more of that Makeup Forever Starlight powder on my Cupid's bow, top lip, on the little tip of my nose. I like to add it right in between the brows and then kind of do a straight line to meet them both together. I'm all about that nose highlight life. I also threw some in the inner corners as well to add some brightness, and then set my brows. This is just like a clear brow gel from Maybelline. It doesn't really work very well, but I was too lazy to go grab my soap, so this is what we're doing today. And I really tried to get those front hairs to stand up. To set my whole face, I took the Smashbox primer water just because it was right there handy and I was too lazy to get up and get my Max Fix Plus and just kind of bathe myself, if you will. For lips, I'm adding one of my favorites. This is the Too Faced Melted Lipstick in the shade Child Star. I didn't need a lip liner or anything with this. I wanted to go for a super nude lip. I like to do that when I'm using like crazy eyeshadow. And then I just added Max Flesh Pot right in the center to nude it out even more. Going to take off my little kitty ears, fix my hair, wipe the makeup off my earrings, and we are done, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As you know, I always appreciate it, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye. said I love you.
You're more than just a pretty face.
So lovable.